What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, just in case you didn't know, it's the one and only Miss Lady Shay, the butter, the dreamy queen, right? Just in here with a quick one. Just can I say it? Can I say it? So can I say it? Right? Respect. Can I say it and put some change on it? Right? I'm just at a point, right? I'm just at a point where the obvious is the obvious and the known is the known, right? And for me, over time, through experience, through exploring, and even tapping into what I call experimenting, right? You gotta experiment with the experience to explore, right? To get to know, to get to learn, to appreciate what it is and what it really is, right? Now, just making it quick, just making it quick, just getting to certain points, right? When it comes down to respect, I say it all the time. I say it often. If you know me, right? And when hashtag, right? But real talk, right? I often mention, I often say, I often express respect, right? And I can't say for no one else. I can only say to show my way of intention. Okay, well, I'm back. When life happens, right? And you have those, as I call hiccups, right? So let me get to my point. Let me get to my purpose. Let me get to my message before too much more background interruption, right? So respect. Certain times when you explore, certain times when you experience, certain times in your life, right? you begin to draw conclusions. You begin to, as I would say, figure a thing out, right? And you begin to know what it is, and you begin to embrace self and all that it stands for and all that it shows to prove, to stand on, right? And again, I can't speak for no one else. I can only speak for me. I can only speak through my experience, right? And when it comes to respect, can I say it? Can I say it? And put some change on it, right? Because what happened to the respect? Like when it all comes down to reality, when it all comes down to being truthful, when you get at a certain, as I would say, right, understanding to understand, to overstand something, don't you begin to move and act and respond and deal with life, through life, for life, based off of that understanding, and overstanding, right? I'm just saying, that's just me. And wrapping it cutely, right, with respect. Can I say it? Can I say it? Can I say it again? Where did it go? What happened to it? Why? 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 Why can we say it? Why can it be said? Yet, when you really look at certain things and you really analyze certain situations, you gotta ask the question, right? I hear you saying it, right? Showing it. I see something, but what does that mean, right? And it circles back and it goes into loops and it goes into who you are, who you've been around, who have you learned from, right? Who on my owl tip, right? Who shows you the way? Who helps you figure a thing out? Right? Who is the one that is saying and standing on truth, reality, and what one should do, what one should say, and how one should respond to respect? If I'm making sense, I don't know. I don't know. Because I know I got the background. And so, hopefully, this message is getting out clearly, right? Yet, and still, respect. 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 Where and how does this get lost? Right? How do we lose that sense of understanding to morals? Right? In my opinion, how do we lose that sense of dignity? How how do we get there, right? How do we get to a point that says it's okay to say certain things even though the meaning of it, right? Even though the meaning of it is not fully being atoned to, right? When it comes to respect, right? Can I say it? Can I just a little bit? Can I tap in just one, two, one, two, one, two? Right? Just real quick. Respect. Right? What am I talking about? Right? For me, where? What do I mean? Right? What am I really saying? What am I trying to express? Right? Sometimes it's hard to express when, for me, it's not already known, right? And that's just me. But respect. What is respect? It's that basic and that simple way of treatment, right? Like when you take it back to the schooling years when we were younger, right? And didn't we get, didn't we hear, didn't we see that rotating around, right? Treat others as you want to be treated, as you want to be treated, right? Respect. Just period, point blank. Ain't nothing more to it than to do it. Respect. Treat as you want to be treated. Right? That's the basic. That's a really nice way. Right? It's a really easy way. It's a really simple way to follow when one considers. Does it make sense? Right? Does that make sense? Treat someone as I want to be treated. Respect. Does it make sense to me? Of course. Why do I say that? Because for the most part, for me, when I do things, when I interact, when I'm in the public, as I like to put it, right? My intentions are not only demonstrate respect, but to show it, right? Because I work at representing it within me, right? And of course, the support, the help, the care, the attention, the listening ear, right? Certain times, as I said, and what people know, right? What do you need help with? I might be able to help. Don't know until you ask, right? And on certain waves of levels, one of the easiest, or one of the simplest, or even one of the biggest things I can do, I can show, and I can represent is respect, right? And it's simple, right? If I don't want to be looked at in a certain way, then respect. I should stand in that myself. I should represent that within myself, right? If I want certain things, right? Whether it's something as small as a listening ear, right? Or a helpful hand, or even helpful tips, right? Pointers, certain awarenesses that one doesn't already know, right? There's things that for some it could be simple, for some it could be easy and as natural as breathing, right? And for others, you will have to dig in. You will have to ask those questions. You would further have to explore into who a person is, right? Before you can really identify if help can be there, support can be there, right? Or even if things you know, aware of, or even tried can be useful to another. So again, right, wrapping it back into the loop. Why, for me, one of the biggest things that I always know I could give anyone and everyone is that sense of respect, a sense of, hey, you're you, right? And respectfully, you have your life, you have your dealings of going in, around, and through, and your experiences are shaped into your journey, right? And respect. Maybe a conversation can be had, right? Respect. Maybe there can be a situation where minds can merge and that can electrify into all sorts of helpful reinforcements, right? Helpful businesses, helpful resources, right? To not only help certain personal, close people of association, of love, of care, but to just have it boomerang and glitter into everyone, glitter onto everyone, glitter around everyone, right? So a certain draw, a certain vibration, a certain energy is ongoing, nonstop, just breathe into. If I'm making sense, again, right? So, how does one go about life, right? How does one accumulate through and around and within the things that they're going through, right? And where, or why should I say again, right? Why does the respect level drop? Why does the respect level get overlooked? Hey, why does the respect level seem so far from a person's mind that over time, right? Over again, exploring, experimenting the experience, I just gotta say, how did this happen? Right? How did the wholeness of the community, of families, of individuals, of the children, right? How did the wholeness lose this sense of hope, right? Because when you look at certain things again, right? When you break certain things down, and when you can understand the meaning of intentions, right? Isn't that a sense of hope that one could have? That, you know, as I say, at this time, in this era, in this multitude that we are constantly seeing, experiencing, right? We have, as some could say, leveled into a different time of era, right? And there are more openings, right? There is more information, right? There's more to get into, to gather, to learn from, to grow on or with, right? And with all of that, with everything that is current, right? Should we not look at it that way, right? That one could be hopeful, right? That everyone still has, in their own way, right, learned, grown, and matured their respect level, right? So that each day we go through life and we encounter people, right? It's just, it's there. That respect, that sense of, I see what it is, I know what it is. And no, I might not know you, right? I might not know what you've gone through or had to experience. And for some, it's at a point of, do I care? Should I care? Do I want to care? Right? Yet and still, the level of respect, right? That sense of courtesy, in another way of saying it, in another way to phrase it, right? What happened to that sense of courtesy, right? That, again, no, I don't know you personally. I don't know what you've been through personally, right? Yet, I see you. I see you in this world. I've come across you randomly as I have at the moment that I have. And it's okay, right? It's not that big of a deal, right? It's not that point of, oh, well, if I showed another person some respect, that now that makes me less respected. If I'm making sense, right? Because, again, when you're me and you're in certain thoughts of why? Why, right? Why are we here? Why did we get here? Why is this acceptable? Right? And when you even take it to that, again, what I would call basic formation of respect, right? What happened? Where did it go? And then, for me, I had to go through the process, right? I had to go through the timing, right? I had to go through the, okay, wait a minute. Let me check a couple of things out, right? Like, it doesn't necessarily make sense, but it doesn't necessarily not make sense. So let me arrange some things around, or allow me to digest a little moment longer. Right? To just see if certain things fit. If certain things that gets applied does in fact reinforce a certain statement, right? Or a certain message or a certain intention that one has. And so yeah, for me, I can grasp, right, the moment to moment of what I call that learning, growing, and healing process of understanding, understanding to overstand, right? Because it's, again, people have their own understanding of it, right? Or meaning, maybe is a better way to say it, yet for me, right? What do I mean by understand, understand to overstand, right? As I often do with everything in life, I looked within, right? I sat back and I asked those questions, right? And so, and thus the process began, right? That understanding of me, right? I'm keeping it simple here, right? Just to break in certain points of what I'm talking about when I say certain phrases, right? So, yeah, At one point of time, I went through the process, right? I went through the experimenting of understanding me, of understanding who I was, of what I wanted, of what I needed, of why I had certain questions, of why I would become curious, right? Why certain things were just drawn to me. Why was I drawn to certain things? It's just a basic understanding of me, right? And as that process began and started to merge into a what I called understanding, right? I graduated, as I would say, right? I got the first step of understanding, right? I understood me in a certain totality that was needed, right? And so that growth to understand, right? You're taking it up another lot, right? You're taking it up another level. You're taking it into a whole nother, as I would call it, vibration, right? To understand something, right? You're taking it more within you, right? You're taking a deeper look, right? The understanding was just to get the meaning, right? Or to get the, as I would call, purpose of it, right? Now that next level, that inner standing of it, it was for me to, as I would call, match it up, right? I have the understanding of just who I am and why I am. And now I gotta get to that deeper meaning of it, right? That understanding of me, of who I am and what my meaning is and what my purpose is, right? And through that process, through that experiment, that growth happened, right? And that elevation to level into the next vibration of overstanding me. Right now, I can see things at a full capacity, right? I can see why I'm here, what my purpose is, and understand with a deeper meaning of it, right? And now, overall, right, the overstanding of it is now I see where my point of place, of purpose, of meaning is in life, right? And as one could say, the world, right? And the multitude that it has to offer. So, if I'm making sense, right? To just pull it back, to just pull it back, to just pull it back, and to go back to the respect. Again, certain times, right? At certain points of our journeys, of our lives, of our choices, of our decisions, we gotta get there first, right? We have to get to a point of accepting and applying, right? So that an acknowledgement could be there. And what is that acknowledgement? Whether it is helpful, beneficial, useful to you, right? And to your point of purpose or your meaning of intention to produce, right? Or it's not. It's just you try, trial and error, and you see how a couple of things could still work, right? But that particular position, idea, or even situation just as a whole wasn't for you, right? So, again, when you address it with respect, right, as I often say, we all go through and we all are on different levels, right? And it's one of the unique and beautiful things that we have, right? That step and stands to say who you are, what your purpose is, and how you're doing it, how you're showing it, how you're representing it, and how, right? Once you get to a certain level for yourself, right? For you, the individual, right? Once you reach a certain level, once you reach that certain height, right? Then a joining can begin. In my opinion, right? Then a merger of community and association and building of and adding on, right? Because one can only help or can only know what's within them, right? And again, when you look at certain things in life, when you see certain situations, when you take into awareness of acknowledgments, right, of real life, real time, right, you gotta accept, apply, and move within your own rights of respect, as I would say, right? And it gets to a point. It gets to a point. Those questions, right? Those questions. Where did it go? And can we all get that back for ourselves first and foremost? Yet, and still, as we gather and grow and continue to blossom that respect for ourselves, and then we go out and we see it within the community and those people that we do know, right? That we do have a connection to, that we do have a bond with, right? Oh, I put myself on mute. Ain't that hilarious? But anyways, wrapping it up, right? Wrapping it up, right? Respect for ourselves, from ourselves, and to ourselves. Once that acceptance, once that application, once that acknowledgement is there, right, in totality for, again, us, for the individual, that embracement will be shared, will be shown, will be able to shine in glimpses and glances and even peaks at certain times, right? So that every day, everyone, and the next, and the next, and the next one can become more accustomed to embracing to that vibration of respect, right? And what respect really is, right? And when and how one gains certain titles, right? Such as mom, such as dad, such as sister, such as brother, cousins, uncles, grandmothers, grandfathers, right? We get certain titles, right? And again, one gotta ask, what happened to the respect? What happened to the cherishing of those individuals' vibrations, those individuals and their essence for what they represent and what they bring and hold and share and show to shine into their own lives so that it reflects onto the community that's within and around them. I don't know. That's just me. That's just my mind. That's just how I see it, right? And maybe I might come back on with a second half. Who knows, right? Who knows? Because, when it gets to respect, for me personally, one can say a lot, right? One can really just go on and 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 on, right? Shout out to the Energizer Bunny. But for the sake of time and occupying, I'm going to cut this one short. Perhaps there will be a part two further down the line. Stay tuned to be continued, right? But, and still with that, respect. Can I say it? And can I bring some change on it, right? As your day continues, allow that to marinate within you. Allow it to process for possible digestion so that with time, with consideration, with accepting, one can maybe apply to see if it fits. And if it resonates, that application will become a part of you. And with that, always remember self love is the best love. And as you continue your journey of self love and self healing, self growing, so that you can begin the steps into accelerating into that self mastery. And with that, always remember that you're appreciated. Always remember that you're cherished. Always remember that you're loved. And with that, always remember smile and peace. Until next time, I'm out. The one and only, once again, Miss Lady Shay Butter Dreamy Queen. Peace out.